Welcome to Math Learners Uganda. My name is Sam Ogwang. You can connect to me on number 0750900271 or 0784872601. Before we can begin what we want to discuss today, go below this video and subscribe to this channel so that you can get more and more of math content wherever you need them. Today we want to look at direct proportion. Proportion is used to compare two or more quantities such that as one quantity changes, the other also changes in the same way. Meanwhile, direct proportion is used to compare two or more quantities such that as one quantity increases, the other also increases, or as one quantity reduces, the other also reduces. For example, the more distance you cover, the more you become tired, or the more you eat, the more you become satisfied. So let us go to example 1. Example 1, given that x is directly proportional to y and that when x equals to 2, y equals to 4, find y when x equals to 6. So how do we answer this question? The symbol used for direct for proportion, whether direct or inverse, is this one here. So this one is used to indicate proportion. So the question here is saying that x is directly proportional to y. So you write that as x is directly proportional to y. And after writing that, because it is a direct proportion, you replace this direct proportional sign with k, the constant k, and the equal sign. The constant k indicates how much x is related or directly related to y. So let us introduce that k. We shall have x equals to k multiplied by y. And the question is saying that when x equals to 2, y equals to 4. We find y when x equals to 6. So when x equals to 2, y equals to 4. So where there is x, we are going to put 2. And where there is y, we are going to put 4. So that gives us an equation where 2 is equal to k multiplied by 4. That will give us 2 equals to 4k. We must get the k, the constant, which shows how much x is related to y. So we are going to divide both sides by 4 and both sides by 4. That will give us by 4 we get 1, and 1 times k equals to k, and by 2 we get 1, by 2 we get 2. That will give us 1 over 2. So our k is equals to 1 over 2. So after getting k equals to 1 over 2, or after getting the value of k, you go back to the original equation that you formed, that x is equals to k multiplied by y. So where there is k, you put the value of k, which is a half. That will give us x equals to 1 over 2, that is a half, multiplied by y. So what is the question saying? The question is saying that we find the value of y when x equals to 6. So we want the value of y when x equals to 6. So where there is x, we are going to put 6 so that we can get y. So we are going to put here 6 equals to 1 over 2 multiplied by y. And for us to get our y, we should cross multiply here like that, so that we get 2 multiplied by 6, or 6 multiplied by 2. That will give us 12 equals to 1 multiplied by 1y. That will give us y. So our value of y is 12. Example number 2. Number 2 is saying that r varies directly as t, and when r equals to 9, t equals to 3. Find r when t equals to 5. Find r when t equals to 5. Given that r is directly proportional to t, we write it as r varies as t. You introduce the constant of proportionality, which shows how much r is related or directly related to t. That will give us r equals to k multiplied by t. And the question is saying when r is 9, t is 3. So where there is r, you put 9, and where there is t, you put 3. That will give us an equation: 9 equals to k multiplied by 3, which is now the same as 9 equals to 3k, because k multiplied by 3 is 3k. That will help us get the value of k, and we shall divide both sides by 3 and both sides by 3. This will now mean that 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 1 times k is equals to k. 9 divided by 3 is the same as 3. So we have got the value of k as 3. So our k is equal to 3. So let us go to the equation. The question is saying that we find r when t equals to 5. We want to find r when t equals to 5. We shall go back to the equation that we formed. The equation is here: r equals to kt. So we shall write r equals to kt, and we put back the value of k. This will now give us r equals to 3 t. So the question is again, find r when t equals to 5. So what is the value of r when this t here is 5? R will be the same as 3 multiplied by t, which is 5, and that will give us r equals to 15. R is equal to 15. Let's go to example number 3. Example number 3 saying that given that y is directly proportional to the square of x, and when x equals to 4, y equals to 32, find y when x equals to 8. So the question here is, y is directly proportional to the square of x. It is not directly proportional to x, but to the square of x, that is x squared. So you introduce the constant of proportionality, that is k. Y will be k multiplied by x squared. So that will give us y equals to kx squared. The question is saying that when x equals to 4, y equals to 32. So when y equals to 32, x is 4, but this 4 is going to be squared because it is the value of x. This will give us 32 equals to k 4 squared is the same as 16, and that will give us 32 equals to 16 times k is the same as 16 k. To get the value of k, we shall divide both sides by 16 and both sides by 16. So 32 divided by 16 is the same as 2, and 16 divided by 16 is the same as 1. 1 times k is equals to k. So let me go to the question. The question is saying find y when x equals to 8. Find y when x equals to 8. But don't forget that y is equals to k x squared according to the equation that we formed. So y is the same as 2x squared. So when x equals to 8, what is the value of y? So y will be the same as 2 multiplied by 8 squared, and that will give us y equals to 2 multiplied by 64, because 8 squared is the same as 64, and 2 multiplied by 64 will give us y equals to 128. Example number 4. Given that v varies directly as the square root of r, and when v equals 20, r equals to 16. Find the value of v when r equals to 36. So let us write this. V is directly proportional to the square root of r. So we introduce the constant of proportionality. So v equals to k multiplied by the square root of r. So when v equals to 20, r equals to 16. So where there is r, you put 16. That will give us 20 equals to k. The square root of 16 is 4. And therefore we shall get 20 equals to 4k, and when we divide both sides by 4, we get k equals to 5. So the value of k is 5, but remember that v, according to the equation that we formed, v is equal to k multiplied by the square root of r. So v equals to k multiplied by the square root of r, and the value of k now is 5. So it is 5 multiplied by the square root of r. Let me take you back to the question. The question is saying find the value of v when r equals to 36. So when r equals to 36, v will be the same as 5 multiplied by the square root of 36, and that will give us v equals to 5. The square root of 36 is the same as 6. This will therefore give us v equals to 5 times 6, which is 30. Thank you for watching.